Hi folks, Gavin here from Player TV, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the flagship motherboard from the guys over at ASUS. This is the ROG CROSSHAIR 6 HERO. Has a lot of features. It retails for around £257 in the UK and around $255 in the US, depending on your retailer of choice. So it is more geared towards the enthusiast level gamer, overclockers, etc, etc. It's an ATX size motherboard. It's got a black theme, but it also features RGB LEDs. It also has two additional RGB headers, so you can plug in ASUS ROG Aura Sync compatible RGB strips, which is pretty decent. It's the AMD X370 chipset, and it's got support for AMD's Ryzen CPU, so that's the AMD Ryzen 3, the 5 and 7. So it does support all of that. It is AM4 socket as well, just to obviously make that clear. It's the current ROG flagship motherboard for AMD's latest platform. Obviously, I probably expect another, like a formula to come out, but we'll wait and see really. It has a 12 power phase design on the CPU for stable and smooth power. That means it's also good for overclocking as well. Good for enthusiasts who want to push their Ryzen chips, as far as they can go. It has 4 DIMM slots, up to 64 gig of DDR4 memory, with speeds of up to 3200 megahertz, that's overclocked memory. Please check, obviously, to make sure your RAM is compatible. It does have 2 PCIe x3 or generation 3 x16 slots with ROG armor, so it's got metal shielding around it. It's also got, obviously, 1 PCIe Gen 2 x16 slot, which is powered by the motherboard's PCH, and it also has 3 PCI x generation 3 x1 slots, again, which is also powered by the PCH, whereas the 2 PCI 3 x16 lanes are powered by the CPU as well. So in terms of other features, it uses Supreme FX audio. This is ROG's ALC1220 audio codec. It's also got a ES9023P high definition audio DAC. So it's got superior onboard sound compared to the more regular motherboards who just feature the Realtek ALC1220 on its own. It also has 8 SATA 3 ports, 1 Ultra M.2 port for PCIe x4, and it also has 1 regular M.2 port which works in SATA mode. So if you've got one of the NVMe's SSDs, the latest ones like the Samsung 960 Pro, obviously you'd plug that in through the PCI and not the SATA one for the maximum performance, which obviously if you're going to spend that much on an SSD, you're going to want it to run, and obviously this board will do that, and yeah, does the job. In terms of rear I/O, it has 1 RJ45 LAN port, 1 USB 3.1 Type A, 1 USB 3.1 Type C. It has 8 USB 3 ports, 4 USB 2 ports. One of them can be switched to the USB BIOS flashback for quick and easy BIOS flashback, flashing of your BIOS. It has a USB BIOS flashback button. It has 1 clear CMOS button, 5 audio jacks which are gold plated for your onboard audio. It has 1 optical SPDIF out, and it has 1 M.2 Wi-Fi slot. So it is quite a feature-rich board. It's obviously, as I've said, it's AMD's current ASUS flagship board. So obviously I'm expecting good things from it. Obviously software is included on the installation disk, or you can download it from ASUS's website. You've got the likes of ROG Game First, RAM cache. You've got like ROG RAM disk as well. You've got ROG's CPU Z skin, which is pretty decent, and you've got the likes of, Sonic Studio 3, which if you use it with the onboard audio, you can tweak the onboard settings to your personal preference. So now I've talked about the board, we've seen what it's got, we've seen what it looks like, and seen what it's all about. Let's take a look at the results of the benchmark suite. So here's the test setup here, so you can see how we, the system that we use to bench this, and then yeah, let's take a look at the benchmarks. So as you can see, the benchmarks, you know, prove that this board is mustard. It's a fantastic motherboard, and it's probably I would say currently, as of now, as you can see in the benchmarks, it's currently the best X370 board I've tested for Ryzen CPUs. It's probably the perfect companion if you're an overclocker, you're an enthusiast. And more importantly, one thing that I would like to obviously mention as well, this is the only board so far that comes with AM3 mounting as well as AM4. So if you've got a cooler that you want to reuse in the past, like a H100i or so, and you haven't got an AM4 compatible cooler and you're not planning on buying one or upgrading, or you don't want to pay for a kit that are free apparently, then this board, you know, you can mount your old AM3 compatible coolers on here, which is, you know, a fantastic thing. And I'm really glad ASUS and Republica gamers have thought of that. It's phenomenal, it's brilliant. So obviously, in terms of performance, it performs absolutely brilliantly. AMD's Ryzen has had massive hype since launch, and, you know, there's been a few teething issues in terms of, you know, early adopters, you know, buying them. There's been quite a few bugs and a few problems. BIOS updates will fix these. Obviously, I've been running the latest BIOS and I've had absolutely no problems in this board. Our 3000 megahertz memory runs absolutely fine on this board, whereas on other boards have obviously struggled a little bit to get the right settings, which has been a bit disappointing, but it just shows obviously that the ROG CROSSHAIR VI HERO, nearly got it wrong there, CROSSHAIR 6 HERO is an absolutely beast board. I'm not going to break into song and dance today, but yeah, in terms of awards, I'm going to give this obviously gold. It's a no-brainer. It performs brilliantly, it looks great, RGB is alright as well, if you're into that. It's got good memory support, it looks good, and, you know, ATX, it's compatible with virtually all ATX, well, it is compatible with all ATX cases. Also, I'm going to give it our recommended award. So if you're looking for a Ryzen motherboard, you want X370, you don't mind paying around $250, £250, depending on your retailer of choice, obviously, and you want a board that's going to drive your Ryzen chip to the limits, then make sure you pick up the CROSSHAIR 6 from CROSSHAIR 6 HERO, so to say, from ASUS Republica gamers. Yeah, I'd like to thank ROG for sending this board in for review. Thanks for watching, guys, and ciao for now.